Tho.
Yes.
Why can't you hear a pterodactyl going to the bathroom?
I don't know why.
Because the P is silent.
Oh, I thought it was pronounced pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl. All right, guys, welcome back. Looks like we have our partner of crime back today. Just came back from the island, so in honor of him coming back, I'm dressed in island gear.
Cherry, bruh.
So, how was your vacation?
You was surfing, we were chilling, we were beaching. The use.
Well, welcome back to BSL Gutter Talk. We got some new notepads. Check it out. We got a little cool merch going on right here. All right, guys, and that takes us to our first segment of the day, Strike Squad. All right, you want to start it off?
Yes, so we're gonna go with the bottom of the Strike Squad, which is in fifth. Top 5 of last week is Andrew Dye with a 665.
There he is again. This guy is always on the top 5.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he came into the league with like an 80 average, not knowing how to bowl.
Yep.
And then, you know, Steven and Hui picked him up like a kid from the street and, you know, nursed him.
Dude.
And now he's top 5.
What's that movie with Sandra Bullock?
The Devil Wears Prada.
Blindside.
Blindside.
He just got blindsided by Miss Congeniality.
Oh,
Yeah.
Are you going to protect the family, Michael?
Yes, ma'am.
Good boy. And go have some fun.
Yeah. So that's a Cinderella story. Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, it's crazy. His scores 119, 112, and a 173. You know, anytime you have an average of 113 and you hit a 173, you're doing a lot for your team.
Yeah, like sandbagging.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yep.
And then next up we have
Stefan. He is Stefan this week. Anytime he's on top 5, he is Stefan.
Yeah,
when he's on the bottom, he's Steven.
Yeah, he's not Urkel today. I mean, this week he had a 670 score. You know, with a 165, 193, and a 267.
Man, that guy, he really came into the league showing that, you know, he knows what he's doing. Even before he joined the league, we would see him at the lanes all the time, and he is a frequent at that specific bolero, so that's like his home turf, you know,
Exactly.
like he knows that place in and out. Ball so hard.
Yeah.
So seeing him on the top 5 isn't really a big of a surprise. The next person on there is a surprise because he just came back, bowled an amazing game, a 684 for the 3rd spot, Vin. Welcome back, Vin.
Welcome back, Vin Lee. And I mean, he gave a welcome back party for himself.
He did, yeah.
His first game back, 242. But that was probably his 15th game before.
15th game, yeah, because that guy goes out there and he bowls like 10 games just as a warm-up.
Yeah, so I mean, welcome back, Vin. I'm pretty sure no one really knew that you were back except the X-Men when they took the first win from them. So.
And it must have been like pretty tough because there's 2 players out on GTA.
Yes.
So it was just Vin and Darren bowling against, you know, the X-Men. So it's a pretty scary thing to be up against, especially because you don't have the vibes. The other team is all together, and so, you know, to be able to get in top 5 and to do that for your team is really huge.
But also, I mean, you know, that didn't scare the X-Men away because the next up, second place, is Steven Huynh with a 691.
Some say he has his pants on this week.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I mean,
where do you get the pants?
Tonight on Where Are My Pants?
Honey, where are my pants?
you know, he was like, my goal is not to be in the cellar at all this season. But right when he said that week he was in the cellar. But then now he rose to the top.
Do you think his hand is healed?
His hand seems like it's healed.
Yeah, from the car door slamming on his hand, it seems like it's healed.
Yeah.
You know, that guy couldn't catch a break. Missing fingers, missing pants. Now, he's definitely not missing the
Yeah,
pins.
he's living large and charged with his pants on.
Yeah, which brings us to the number one of the top 5 is his teammate, TP, which used to stand for toilet paper, but not this week. He's actually top, number 1 bowler with a 716.
Yep. I mean, it's not toilet paper anymore, it's total power.
Total power.
With a 716, he had a 195, a 188, and a 222.
Oh man, so X-Men really did come through and show GTA how to bowl.
Yeah.
Because they came in there. Isaac was wanting to get the sweep. He wanted to do like really well, but he came in and they lost game 1, but still they came out with the dub.
With the dub, yeah. And that's all you can really ask for.
And with the top 5, there's always going to be the bottom, the cellar dwellers.
Cellar dwellers.
A lot of these names you would actually think would be in the top 5. This list looks like it's reversed almost.
Yeah.
But we're gonna start off with the worst of the worst, which is Johnny Vegas.
Yeah, Johnny Vegas with a 501. And Johnny wasn't here, but he didn't get penalized at 10%.
Oh man.
But his scores were 146, 163, and 108.
So, I mean, those scores aren't too bad to a normal bowler, but to somebody that has an over 200 average, that's like giving away, 80 pins every game, you know what I'm saying? So, there was just so much left on the table. I know he was beating himself up. He was trying to find his rhythm, and he couldn't find his rhythm.
Definitely hurts the team, too.
For sure, yeah.
And that's the thing about missing league night, because at least league night, you know that the lanes are somewhat oiled. Whereas if you're doing makeup games, you're going on to a random lane.
Yeah,
and the lights aren't even on. Random day of the week.
It's just trash lanes. But which brings us up to our next person on the bottom 5 that was playing on what we consider a trash lane, the very far right lane, which is lane 40. Jate coming in with a 508. I don't know. Like, I feel like that was a little crooked. It really throws off your perception. Going down that lane. Do you think that had to do a big play into why he's on the bottom this week?
I mean, that could be one, but it's also a mental game. I mean, coming from seeing Jake down here, it's hard to believe that he hit a 300.
Yeah, that 300 is gonna haunt him.
Yeah, everyone's holding him to really high standards as we should.
Yeah.
Getting a 300 isn't easy at all.
Yo, for sure.
With him bowling a 149, a 154, and a 142, that's doing nothing but hurting your team.
Yeah, for sure. And especially being a high-scoring bowler, he's usually the anchor of his team, you know, and to have these numbers, it's really going to hurt. He's really got to pick it up, because I know his team isn't safe for playoffs. There's still, time to try to get there, but they really got to do everything that they can to try to grab a playoff seed. So
I hope they continue to be Ball's life, and maybe next week, but if they don't win, then it might be
game over for them.
Ball is dead.
Ball is dead.
Ball is dead.
All right, going up to the next person. This guy might have been dead from all the drinking he was doing. Lee with the 520. Like I said, these are some surprising names in the bottom 5. We bowled kind of close to them, and I know that it was he was celebrating out during the breaks. Do you think what could have been going on?
I think he was just enjoying his birthday party a little bit too much. I mean, he was just enjoying his birthday too much, and all your friends are there, you're having a good time, and liquor is pouring and everything, so, and then his score shows it.
Yeah, for sure.
And the next one we can skip. We don't have to mention that person.
No, there's still one more before that one. Hui.
Okay.
With the 529. So Hui is bottom 5 with the 529. These are surprising numbers as well, because I know that him and Steven, they know how to throttle, they know how to hold back the scores that they need. Do you think this is a case of him sandbagging it on purpose to try to keep the average down until playoffs, or do you think he just really had an off game?
100%, he knows what he's doing. like by his numbers and Steven's numbers, they know how to play off of each other and throw what's needed.
Yeah, for sure. So he blew the AE86 motor on purpose.
Yes, exactly.
All right, just to get that motor swap.
Yeah,
He's trying to get that
that's
twin cam.
Vu Tho, what's the verdict?
I feel it getting better each time I drive it. Only problem is the engine's so good the suspension can't catch up.
Baby.
He's trying to get, higher RPM. But
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
his score 146, 207, and a 128.
So to go from over 200 to 108,
128.
128, that
is low for him.
is very low. It's almost as low as the last person on the bottom 5, which is here, 525. I think he's still on vacation. Some say he never left Maui.
So, I mean, it's tough. You go on vacation. I mean, I seen him with Angelique. She went on vacation a few times, 2 weeks, I believe. And, come back, you don't get to practice. You're kind of jet lagged, sunburnt, so it's
But did you get to restore Tafiti's heart?
No, I didn't.
You did? You didn't even get to do that?
I didn't.
Oh, man,
Yeah,
so what a waste.
So, it's, don't go on vacation, especially during season.
Yeah, and it's really tough because summer is the time where, people do vacation, but you gotta be dedicated to BSL, man.
You gotta be about it.
You gotta be about it.
I didn't miss league nights, so no penalty. But with these scores,
You might as well have left. Yeah.
That would probably been a better excuse.
Yeah.
I just shat the bed.
All right, and that does it for our top 5 and bottom 5. Everybody that's in the cellar, you suck.
We suck. We need to do better.
Do better. All right, and here, this episode, we're gonna do a little recap of last week's game because there's usually a write-up, but there isn't this week, so we took it upon ourselves to do the recap. So we're gonna go off with X-Men versus GTA and how that played out. We did a little bit of interviewing with X-Men, and they were expecting a sweep, but Vin came in and he showed them that I'm here.
Yeah.
Didn't get the sweep.
Yeah, because then when you go against a team that is missing 2 players, morale is really low.
I can see that.
And then sometimes it's like a 10% for 2 people. That's really tough.
Yeah.
And then also Jimmy and Johnny are really high average bowlers.
Yep.
So and morale wasn't there.
Yeah, and I think X-Men, they use that to their advantage. They brought in the vibes, kicked GTA when they were down, and just kept the momentum rolling. Especially with TP and Steven being in the top 5.
Yep.
I think they were a lot more relaxed. It didn't feel like an actual league game.
Yep.
So they got to play better.
Yep.
There wasn't as much pressure or stuff like that on them.
Yeah, I mean, X-Men already has a plus 61 that coming into that game.
Yep.
And, low morale team. But, surprisingly, it wasn't a sweep. Vin and Darren held the fort, and they came out with 2 points.
Yeah, which is always good, especially just playing with 2 bowlers to not get swept.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next one is going to be Shy Guys versus Ball is Life, and Shy Guys taking this one. How do you think that game played out?
Well, I mean, Shy Guys with a plus 94, which is
the 5th man.
Huge.
Yeah, that's the 5th man.
And then seeing Jake being bottom 5 tells you a lot already.
Yeah. So they needed him to really show up. The rest of the team really needed to show up, especially to cover that 5th man.
Yeah.
Everybody really needed to be on their A game and hit their averages, but Shy Guys came away and shied away with that win. They took it from Ball is Life. They took the ball from Life.
It's my ball.
Yeah, this is my ball now.
And then now Ball's Life is wishing that Vin was on their team.
Yeah, because GTA stole them from them. They did a grand theft on an auto.
Yeah, I mean that's what happened. And now Vin is playing for another team.
Yeah, that's sad.
So Ball's Life, they gotta pick it up because, like I said, if they don't do well next week, then
they're out of playoffs.
They're out of playoffs.
Yeah, that playoff contention is really without reach now.
Yes. So.
All right.
And then next up, we have, you can talk about this.
All right, so we have Alliance versus Shadow, with Alliance taking that one. This one felt really good. We felt really good to win this one, especially because it was against you and Brian.
Yeah.
I would have never heard the end of it. But yeah, I really feel that you are still in Hawaii, so it was really playing against 3 people that day.
This is one of the games that I was kind of mostly looking forward to, in a sense where we're only giving 3 pins to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
much a head-to-head.
Yeah.
Which means that the team is pretty much
Even, yep.
So I really wanted to play well, but
Yeah, it also doesn't help that your captain was also seen.
Slizzard?
Yeah, slipping on some slizzard. He was drunk. He was drinking a little bit too much. I think after game 1, I caught him sleeping on the couch.
He was also saying that he was seeing double.
He was seeing double. Yeah, he did miss a couple of pins that I thought were very, very weird.
I was fucked up, but I still did better than Tom.
That's true. Oh, there's no excuses
also,
there.
As a captain, he always doesn't encourage me like he used to. You know, he doesn't pick me up. I need positive criticism.
I gave you
know?
hella strong and firm high fives, dude.
No,
Firm.
He yells at me after too. There are times where I would throw it and he's like, "What the f is that?"
No, it's his mouth behind the high five. You're trash!
And it hurts, okay? But, you know, in that game, game 1, we took game 1, you know, you guys were doing horrible and it's like we need to capitalize on this.
Yep.
So somehow we managed to pull one out from you guys, which lucky
Yeah,
that we did
yeah.
that. And then I just shat the bed the other games.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Tony on our team, he always does well. That's why he's like captain of the team. He really holds it down.
Yeah. What's it like to have a positive captain?
Oh, it's amazing. Always positive reinforcement. Double high fives, actually. We get double high fives, yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah, and then we have Dan, which gives high fives from below the waist.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's a little different.
That's a little
It's a little different, yeah. And then, you know, Ado just, you know, the buff guy.
Yeah, he just does what he does.
Yeah,
you know?
he just does what he does.
Well, I mean, that game, third game, I actually bet Dan head-to-head for a pitcher. Dan ended up with a 139, and I pulled a 149 from
nice.
I don't know where. little too late, though.
Too late. All you care about is yourself.
Well, you know, if I was here and I practiced the 2 games I usually practice, then I might have done a little bit better.
Man, we never know.
But yeah, I mean, congrats to you guys.
All right, next up on the list is going to be Red Suns versus Puzzle Fighters. The Red Suns took that one, but the Puzzle Fighters did give a really good first game. Sang really showed up on that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, his leg injury must have felt a lot better because what he bowled like a 173. 173 from Sang.
And, you know, first game is crazy out the gates like that. And, you know, we're happy to see that just because Red Suns didn't sweep.
Yeah.
And they're already ahead.
Yeah.
So, you know, giving the little guy some points, you know, that's some charity points.
Charity point. Good guy, Red Suns.
Good guy, Red Suns with the charity.
Yeah, there. You can have some of these points. But yeah, I mean, there's not too much in that game.
Yeah.
Red Suns came through and just spanked them on the other games. And
well, I think it's worth mentioning, you know, the points, the Red Suns points, and where they balled out when they needed to.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the reasons why Hui was probably in the cellar this week.
Yeah.
Because if you were looking at the games that Hui did worst on was game 3.
Yeah.
But you know, Steven and Andrew, that was their best games.
Yeah, so he didn't need to bowl over what he needed to keep his average low.
Exactly.
Because, you know, there's really no... There is a flex in having a high average, but you also got to use it to your advantage as well. You got to know how to play it.
Yes, because you know, if it's a rolling average league, so you know, when you go to playoffs, you want to be locked in where your average isn't
too high. Yeah, and then you go in there and you can obliterate it all you want.
Exactly.
All right. So the last matchup was going to be Onyx versus StarCraft. They won game 2 and they actually took away with total pin count, huh?
Yeah, which is amazing. I think it's thanks to their captain on StarCraft, Andy.
Oh.
His last game he had a 207.
Are you sure? Because isn't he the?
Yeah, he's the one that Kathy was
yelling at, right? That was the breaking news. Andy, stop hitting the screen.
Yeah.
Stop breaking the screens. That was from Valero herself. She called us. She has our personal hotline number.
She said, "Have that idiot sandwich stop
that
breaking.
booty bread, that idiot sandwich having ass.
Yeah, stop breaking, Bolero property.
Yeah.
That place is already torn up as is.
Already ghetto. Can't even get oil on the lanes.
So with that being said,
Yeah.
I think that really was what pushed StarCraft to win
The total pin count, yeah.
I mean,
And having Lee in the bottom 5 probably didn't help
yeah, definitely.
Onyx's cause on that total pin count.
Definitely.
But Onyx did take away the win. So, we can't really say too much on them having Lee in the bottom when you got Juan balling out.
Yeah. With that 190 the first game.
Exactly.
And then,
Yep.
Tony with the 197 the second.
Yeah. So they really came through, and I know Juan bought extra tickets from Southwest to Brooklyn before the whole shutdown. So that's probably where he got it.
Yeah.
All right, we just start off with happy birthday, all the best to you.
Happy birthday.
So we got some happy birthdays this week.
Happy birthday to you, and happy birthday to you.
Lee, Jimmy, and Dylan. Lee and Dylan were here to celebrate. Jimmy is on vacation to celebrate his birthday. He actually went out. We appreciate those that celebrate your birthday with BSL, you know what I mean? In the lanes, we do have some footage of Lee chugging out of the bottle. But yeah.
And what caused him to get into the cellar?
That's probably it. But the guys that were rooting for him to chug the bottle was actually on StarCraft.
Yeah.
It was all of StarCraft, like cheering him on they were trying to break him down, man.
They were. And then it happened, he ended up in the cellar. So happy birthday to you.
Yeah, happy birthday, guys.
Welcome to week 6.
It's week 6 already, huh?
It is.
Man,
week
it's
6.
crazy. It's going by so fast.
Week 6 and then week 7 is the end of preseason.
Yeah, so after that it's going to be after that it's going to be playoffs. So these last 2 games are really going to make or break certain teams because there's still time for teams to kind of get their way up unless you're puzzle fighters.
Yes.
Then you're pretty much out.
Yeah,
but
true.
First matchup is going to be X-Men versus StarCraft with X-Men getting 18.
So I mean, that's going to be a hot game to watch. Just because it's going to be high rollers. X-Men coming off of a win, they're coming in hot.
Got 2 guys in the top 5.
So I mean, who do you think is going to take it?
I honestly feel that X-Men is going to take this one because they're getting the pin count and they're coming off of a win. They're coming off 2 guys off of top 5.
Yes.
They have the momentum to carry, but StarCraft does have what it takes to stop the momentum. You got this dude named Carson. I don't know who the fuck Carson is because he's not on top 5 anymore.
Yeah. All of a sudden.
Yeah, and then you got Booty Bread.
What are you? An Indian sandwich.
You know what I mean? You got
Andy.
Yeah, but there's a potential for StarCraft to take it. But I really feel like X-Men's gonna win this one. What about you?
I mean, I'm gonna go with X-Men as well, just because I feel like this game should be pretty much head to head in terms of like people's abilities and their scoring power. So I'm thinking that X-Men has what it takes plus the pins.
Okay,
right?
for sure.
So I mean, with these 2 teams, if you had to pick 2 out of each team, who's their X factor?
That's gonna make it?
That's gonna like make or break the game.
Oh man, so for X-Men, I think TP is going to be somebody that's going to either make or break it because he needs to bowl those high numbers. Sometimes in the beginning of the season, you saw he wasn't living to his potential, but obviously the last week he did. Isaac is another person on the team that's going to be a really big contender because he has the potential to bowl high, but he hasn't found his stride yet. So I think if those 2 can kind of link up, then it's definitely going to be a really tough game to beat. StarCraft, I'm gonna have to say, they all have a potential to do really, really well. But I think if Carson if he stops sandbagging, if he shows up, he can take it. But then there's also, Kat that's on the team, and she has the ability to put those numbers up as well. Because I know she was on the top before, but she started kind of like setting a little in the middle. But if she can bring those numbers back up, she's definitely a contender into what beat the X-Men.
Yeah, she was carrying the team past few weeks.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, same for X-Men. I think TP is gonna have to do his numbers, and I think that Isaac. Yeah.
Yep.
And then for StarCraft, Shelby's gonna do his thing. He's gonna do his 600 Raw.
Yeah.
Series.
Don't even gotta worry about the 4th Street kids.
Don't gotta worry about Shelby. Cat, I think Cat needs to be top 5 Cat. He was back-to-back top 5 in the past week. So
yeah, we need that top 5 Cat back to go up against X-Men.
And then Andy is such a wild card. I mean, how can you do a 104 to a 207? Like, that is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, what he did was he took the first 2 and then added it together and then got his score. So
I mean, it's gonna be tough, but I think this is one of the games to watch just because it's gonna be a dogfight.
Yeah, it really will be. Next up is going to be Shy Guys versus Shadow. Shy Guys losing the 5th man. That guy packed up and left because they're only getting 33 pins against Shadow. I mean, you're Shadow. What do you think about this match?
I mean, this is one of the best times to play against a high handicap team.
Yeah.
You want to play them late in the season when the averages are like kind of leveling out. They're finding their stride. They're leaving their sand behind. So 33, I'm happy with that. It's still gonna be tough, but I think it's gonna be a pretty good match. Yeah,
I mean, and you have Brian going up against Tiff. I heard they have a bet on the line. If Tiff doesn't lose, then she has to sleep on the couch. So I mean, we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, I heard Brian is also not putting out if he loses.
Yeah, that guy he's very uptight with that. His chastity belt stays on.
No 2-incher for her.
So I mean, and then I'm gonna be going against my bowling dad, Van. So, gonna hopefully get to show my progress.
Yeah, do you think he's gonna bust out the purple hammer on you?
I don't know. I mean, I just, he's gonna go with what he feels best, and we'll see.
Yeah, he hasn't been in the cellar this week, so that's good. That's good news for him. Yeah, that's great news. He wasn't in the cellar. Maybe he'll stay out of the cellar.
Or maybe we'll both be in the cellar together.
You might be. Yeah, I mean,
hopefully not though.
Hold hands into the cellar.
Hopefully not though. But with this game, like this game, who do you think is their X factor?
Shy Guys.
And Shy Guys. If you had to choose 2.
If I had to choose 2, it would definitely be Tiff and Van.
Tiff and Van.
Because Van has the potential to blow up, but he just hasn't found his stride. Tiff also has the ability, but again, she has to find her stride because we did see her week 1. She came through, even though the handicap was a lot higher, she still scored like a really good score. Van, this guy can ball out, but he just can't find his line. So if those 2 can kind of like figure out, where to bowl, then they have a better chance because they have Tin, they have Annie. Those 2 I think a little bit more consistent as far as like what their numbers are putting up. But I mean, on Shadow, I'm gonna say the X factor is gonna be you. Like, are you back from vacation? Are you not back from vacation?
It's I mean, I can't be bottom 5 again. Hopefully.
I mean, you could technically,
but hopefully not.
And then I think he would be the second one because we know he is the 2-handed bowler. He does great in practice. Sometimes game day comes and he just drops the ball. But sometimes he does great. So I think you 2 are going to be a really big factor because.
And I mean, I agree with you in both parts. I mean, I think it's Tiff and Van for sure, just because Tiff has a low average. So any time she scores above it, like a lot,
it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be exponential. Van, he just needs to not hurt his team by scoring near his average. But he also does have the potential to blow up. And then for our team, yes, I believe me and Hugh are the least consistent of the 4. Tango, he's been our anchor for the whole season, and he's been doing great. Holding down the fort, and then B just. Less drinking. Yeah, we just gotta get him off the So he's only gonna do 2 shots for the whole night. Okay, cool. So don't let him drink, guys. So everybody, offer him a shot. All right, going on to Alliance versus Onyx with Alliance getting 38. I'm gonna go with Alliance. That's pretty biased. That is very biased. Why would you say that? It is very biased. I feel like I want to knock out
Onyx out of the contention spot. I mean, they're still gonna probably be in playoff, but I think if we can beat them, it gives us the opportunity to be in playoffs. So I'm hoping for a sweep. I hope our team comes in and just throws it down, but I know Onyx is going to be a very, very tough team to beat.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much, I mean, 38 is still pretty good on your side.
Yep.
That's like, you know, half a frame or so.
Yeah, yeah. There's a little room for error. Obviously, we don't want any error, but having that leeway is definitely going to be nice.
So, in your mind, who are you matching up with for your team, Alliance versus Onyx? Who's matching up with who?
Well, you know, I think Ado is definitely going to be the one that's going to match up with Lee, because Ado does have a higher like handicap, but Tony also has the ability to match up with Lee. You know, and then obviously it would be maybe, you know, same thing for Juan, and then I would be going up against Will because, you know, with the two lower numbers. But yeah, I think that's what we got to look for.
Yeah.
If anything, we can have two guys like double team, you know, Lee. Yeah, that way we got two high scores. You know, we got a threesome going on. You know what I mean? We got two high scores on our side going up against him. You know.
But I mean, that was his birthday last week, so I mean, two guys this week. You know.
You know, we can still little birthdays extended. You know, a little extendo birthday.
Surprise,
yeah,
okay,
late surprise.
But yeah, I mean, I think that game is everyone, all 8 has a potential to like pop off and help the team.
Yeah.
You know, even Will come in with a low average. If he does like 150, that's really good.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, I think for Alliance, you definitely gotta have like 1.5 bowler to cover the.
Yeah, well, for sure.
Unless Ado balls out, or you ball out, or Dan ball out, and or Tony and balls out.
Yeah, because they have their Tony that could ball out as well. He found his stride, and I guess, you know, being nurtured by you know, team with the Gorillas, you know.
So are we gonna see a who's the best Tony? Best Tony bet?
I don't know. You gotta ask the Tonys.
Hopefully we see that.
Well, maybe we will see that.
Do a best Tony bet. All right, and then coming up the next game, we have Puzzle Fighters versus GTA.
With Puzzle Fighter getting the 5th man. The 5th man packed up from Shy Guys, left, and went to Puzzle Fighters, trying to hope for a win. With GTA, Jimmy is going to be back. Is Johnny going to be back? Or
I think Johnny might not be back.
Okay, so they might be a man short, but it's still going to be... oh, it's actually going to be 3v3 because Sang's going to be out, no?
Oh, 4v3 because they have the 5th man.
They have the 5th man still. Okay,
so,
yeah.
But Sang is going to be out this week, and so it's going to be, you know, a 3-on-3 plus
the 5th man.
The 5th man, which is the 4th man now.
Yeah.
Confusing, but you know.
The 5th man, this man, no, 5 man. Just count them out.
Stick with us.
But this is the week that if Puzzle Fighter was to get a win, this is the week to do it. They got the 112 pins. Sucks that Sang is out because they could have really used him to capitalize on, you know, having GTA missing a person plus the 112. But I mean, they still have a good chance regardless.
Yeah, I mean, who do you think?
You know, I'm rooting for Puzzle Fighter on this one. I am going to root for Puzzle Fighter. I want them to get their first dub. And with the 112, I don't want them to feel like that's such a huge cushion where they can be relaxed. I want them to come in and still ball out.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing when you have a lot of handicap score, you kind of, you know, ease up on the gas. But, you know, for all you know, Sang can do really bad, and this 112 just covers his own score.
Exactly,
It doesn't help the team at all, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, if it's a 112, he really has to bowl like a 60, 70.
Which I don't think he's going to do.
Yeah.
He did his makeups already.
Oh, he did his makeups already. Okay.
He did okay.
He did okay.
He did A-okay.
Great.
But they're taking the 10% too, of course.
GTA is taking the 10%. Everything that they get, they can get.
I mean, if Johnny's going to be gone too, it's going to be his 10%, so it kind of evens out. Oh,
no
actually,
10% for Johnny.
No 10% for Johnny. Okay, never mind.
All right.
And then last but not least, we have Ball is Life versus Red Suns, with the Red Suns getting 28.
Yeah, the Red Suns getting 28 the way that they're bowling right now, it's kind of ridiculous.
Kind of fishy.
Kind of fishy. They got Stefan. They got Sandbagger Andrew.
Yep.
They got Throttle McThrottleson Hui. And then they got Tracy. She doesn't have a nickname yet. We don't have a nickname for you, Tracy. Sorry.
Just Tracy.
just Tracy. But yeah, I feel like that's a little unfair on that side. But Red Suns strategically knew how to play to get these numbers. As we all say, it's a numbers game.
Yeah, it is a numbers game, and what ball is life is tough just because they have 3 potential 200 bowlers.
They do. And they have the ability to hit a 600 series in one game with just 3 bowlers.
And they have.
They have. So it's something that's possible. Now, does Red Suns have that? I don't think they do just yet.
They have 2 200
They have 2 200 bowlers for sure. But with Ball is Life, they have a 3. Like, it's we've seen it happen. It's a possibility.
Yeah. And this is going off of raw scores.
Raw scores.
Yeah.
This one, I'm really banking on Ball is Life to get this dub over the Red Suns. The Red Suns have proven over and over and over that they are a team they're here to compete.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing, but Ball is Life, I feel like, is hungrier. They want this win, regardless if it's going to get them into playoffs or not. I think they're here just to prove a point.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. Ball is Life, it's desperate. Their backs are against the corner, and they just gotta ball out.
Yeah. I hope Red Suns doesn't use the gutter tactic, and just get them.
I think the Red Suns are probably gonna even try to, they're good in standings maybe. So
maybe they can just
might get some points, and they might just throw it to lower their average and throw a bone for the bottom to fight.
Oh man, that's like it's like Scar and the Hyenas.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
It's not good. It's not good for the who's at the edge of playoffs.
Yeah. So Red Suns is Scar and Ball is Life is the Hyenas.
Yeah. So if they give a bone to Ball is Life, it's the bottom.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a.
Am I Timon or you Pumbaa? Who's Pumbaa? And then Brian Simba.
He's Simba.
Definitely not Simba.
He's
Nala, he's definitely not. Hakuna Matata. Yeah. If Brian is Nala, then he's Hakuna Matiti.
So at the end of the day, I think this is a game that can go both ways.
Yeah.
But Red Suns, I don't think they need any more points unless they're trying to secure playoffs. Actually, no, they need all the points they can get too, just because, oh my God, it's so itchy. It's all on my nose. But anyways, Red Suns, they can throw it away, but also if they want to secure first or second place, just because I think first place is StarCraft and they're only ahead by 1 point. So I don't think
You also get a bye week.
you get a bye week, so I think they're gonna actually play for it. Yeah. So I mean, I think out of the 2 of each team, who do you think needs to?
I think for Ball is Life, obviously Jate needs to show us what his 300 is all about. We need to see that Jate here at Bolero and not at 4th Street. But he's not the only one that needs to put up the scores on his team. So the rest of them's really got to pick up. Red Suns, I think. I really can't speak for any of them. Tracy would probably be the next up for getting those pins, but I mean Red Suns have been consistent, so there's not much to say about anyone on that team that isn't doing their part because it's showing through the numbers. Everybody's playing their part.
Yeah, I believe that. I think Ball is Life for sure. Jake gotta put in work. Yeah, he gotta first one in the gyms, last one out the gym. We just want a little glimpse of that 300.
Yeah, and I mean he's really hard on himself, so I think definitely maybe that plays into his downfall.
Yes.
He misses one of the pins and then it gets him down, and then that momentum kind of carries on, kind of like a ball getting pushed off the hill.
Exactly.
It's just gonna pick up momentum and get bigger and bigger. So maybe he's got to do a little meditation, a little breathing, just reset and go through the pins. But
morale.
yeah, I mean it's hard to root for Red Suns in this this list right now. I do hope Ball is Life is gonna win, but I feel like Red Suns is gonna take it.
I feel the same way. I mean, it'll be a great upset.
It will be a great upset, and I hope we get upset.
Yes.
I want to get upset.
Yes, and then the league will want that. Like I said, you know, if Ball's Life somehow pulls through with this, it's gonna throw a wrench in the bottom, you know, bottom 5.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, playoff dreams might be alive and it might be crushed.
Yeah, I mean, a lot can change in 2 weeks. So, you know, there's still a lot of contenders. Nothing is secure. You never know what's going to happen.
Except Puzzle Fighters, they're out.
Yeah, except Puzzle. Sorry, guys. You might. I don't know. Are you guys going to even show up the last 2 weeks? Or,
Please do. Please
yeah.
We need some Puzzle Fighters. You're not in playoff contention, but they can take away dreams.
They could, yeah. You guys, that's what you guys should do. You just go and wreck fools to get them out of contention.
Dream snatch.
Yeah, dream snatchers.
All right. So this wraps up week 5.
Yeah.
Our podcast.
Hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember, you can always check the stats at bowlingshoesleague.com, our Instagram, social media at bowlingshoesleague. But yeah, that's it for me. It's Vu, my co-host. See you guys on the next one.
Keep bowling.